What's up, man? It's your boy Jay, aka The Strategy, aka Mama. There goes that man again, aka I'm so disrespectful, aka the man by many names. You tuned in to another Walking Dead review show on the AGM project, and I keep saying it in every review. When I think that these writers can't outdo themselves, they outdo themselves. Okay, so this episode starts off with Shane running from walkers, and we don't know what's happened to Rick, and Shane running from walkers and being chased by walkers, and then he gets on a bus and he's trapped in by the walkers. Okay, and then it starts from alright, they're back at the farm. Sorry about that. They're back at the farm, and they're basically driving to take the guy who they captured in the last previous episode. They're driving to take him, to this location where, they're basically gonna leave him. And Shane and Rick are doing this, and Rick kind of like pulls over and have a conversation with Shane, and Rick basically says, yo, I know what happened. He basically talks to Shane. He's like, I know what happened between you and Lori, but he's like, that's my wife. I would do anything to protect her and call anything. And he's like, if you want to continue to be with this group, you're gonna have to accept that. And I kind of seen Shane be remorseful. Like, he was like, yo, I'm sorry, brother. If I could change it, I would have. And Rick kind of like, got in his face a little bit, and I didn't want to see that because I kind of felt like Lori punk ass kind of manipulated Rick to do it, but whatever. So they end up finding a place suitable to lead a guy who they captured in the previous episode, and I guess it's been a week because this motherfucker's up and walking. But they find a place suitable, and Rick is like, we're gonna have to. This episode to me showed a lot that Rick is, without a doubt, the leader. Now, some people say Shane is a little more equipped to lead, and I feel like they're equal. But Rick is like, we're going to have to quit using our guns. If it's one walker, we're going to have to take him out with our knife. We got to conserve ammunition. We need to start getting canned goods. The winter's coming. We need to get warm clothes. Hopefully, we got to go into this with the thing that the cold affects them. And hopefully, if we have a winter like last year, when spring comes, it would have killed off a lot of the walkers. He's saying all these things like, we need to do this, we need to do that, we need to do this. And Shane's just kind of looking out the window like, sounds like a plan. So, they get to the place where they're going to drop off the guy who they captured, and they see a walker. First thing Shane does after they just had this conversation is he draws his gun. And Rick looks at him like, I just told you, no. Rick finally is really understanding that gunshots draw walkers. From the last previous gunfight, he realizes one gunshot will draw 1,000,000 walkers. So Rick is like, no, it's one walker. Why are you pulling a gun? So Rick's like, cut himself. And, he puts it, I guess walkers smell human blood, and when they do, they come running. He cut himself, and he puts it on the fence because it's a fence separating him and the walker comes running, and the walker basically comes to the fence, and he stabs it in the head. It's one more walker. He looks at Shane, he's like, it's your turn. I'm assuming Shane does the same thing, but they cut away from Shane. So, anyway, they show them inside, and they're basically gaining supplies. They found 2 dead cops, so they took their guns, and they got a shitload of fuel for the vehicles. You need fuel for the vehicles, and they basically get ready to let this kid go. And they let him go. They throw him a knife, and they're like, yo, find your way. And this big mouth fucker lets it be known that he knows what a form is. I mean, me personally, I wanna say that. I just would have kept it to myself. So Shane is like, he knows what a form is. First thing Shane does, he draws his pistol. And Rick is like, what the no, we're not gonna kill him. We're gonna take him back to the farm. We're gonna think this over for a day. And Shane makes good points. He's like, are you serious? But Shane, the writers use this to bring up a lot of questions that the viewers brought up. He's like, are you serious? This man tried to kill you. He was shooting at you. He tried to kill you. You're gonna bring him back? You're gonna let him go? He knows where your wife sleeps. He knows where Carl sleeps. He knows where we are at, and you're going to let him go? Which is a good fucking point, dude. I mean, keep this in mind. I know people don't like Shane, but like I said, Shane's decisions aren't necessarily wrong. It's just the way that he presents them. So we're just like, no, it's not your choice. It's not your call. And Shane basically is like, he came out and said it. I don't think that you can protect them. Which pissed off Rick. And this is what we all been waiting for. Shane and Rick get into a fight. Rick swings at Shane. Shane counters it with one little thing, headbutts him, and he gets to working. Now, it seemed like in this fight that Rick was winning, but it seemed like none of these punches were affecting Shane a lot, because he's punching Shane in the face, and Shane is, So anyway, the fight gets to the point to where, Rick has Shane against the thing, and he's drilling him with body shots to the stomach. And, Shane kind of like gives him another headbutt and then pushes him, and Rick is all dazed and woozy. And then he throws a bike on him, or something on him. I don't remember if it was a bike, but it was something on him so he can't move. And, I was like, damn, I just seen Shane take a beating and one punch to Rick, and he's flopping like a fish. But I digress, and, Shane walks over, picks up his gun. He sees the kid, crawling to try to get the knife to cut himself up so he can get the fuck out of there, because, he's trying to get away from him, because Shane already took a shot at him and missed. He would have hit him if it wasn't for Rick. But what pisses me off about Shane taking a shot, if he took a shot at the kid, the walker should have heard it and came out anyway. But I digress. Let's continue. You say Rick won the fight, given the fact that, when he finished, he was standing, Shane wasn't. Shane stumbled up and shit, and he walked over to a fire hydrant, and Rick was like, you don't get to make that call anymore. And it's fucking crazy. He's losing it, because while the walkers are trying to get in, he has nowhere to go. If he moves, then basically they come inside the door. But he cut himself and he put it on top of the thing, like next to the bus, and walkers are trying to lick the blood, and he stabbed him in the head, laughing like, shit. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's crazy, son. Anyway, Rick gets into some trouble because two walkers come after him, and he basically uses firearm. He puts, they're falling on top of him. He has to put his gun in one of their mouths to shoot the other one in the head, which was fucking funny. I thought that was a cool scene. But it comes to a point to where Rick finds the guy who they were dropping off, the kid who they kidnapped, and Rick looks at Shane, and he's like, let's go. He grabs the kid. Now, Rick contemplates on leaving Shane, and he get ready to leave him, and he's getting their supplies, because Shane keeping all the walkers occupied. They're trying to kill him. They're not paying attention to Rick. And Rick goes back and he takes the guns that they find from the cops, and he stares at the cop uniforms, and he's like, this isn't right. And he goes back and he saves Shane. He saves Shane's life. Andrea and Lori get into it, and I hate Andrea ever since she almost killed my boy Dale, but I'm so loving her right now because she finally put Lori, that bitch, in check. They were arguing, and Andrea was like, you're not. No, Lori was like, you're not pulling your weight, you're not washing, you're not, making it hard on me and other ladies. And Andrea's like, fuck that, I'm not a housewife. She's like, I'm out there, I'm on watch from the walkers. She's like, and Lori's like, no, you're just getting your tan with a shotgun in your hand. And she's like, the world is going to hell, and you are bitching about me about making a missing laundry duty. And she's like, so basically Lori, she's not keeping her woman duties. She's like, fuck that, I'm nobody's wife here. And she's like, you're a hypocrite. And she's like, your husband, you haven't, because she has not lost anybody. Rick came back from the dead. Carl survived. Everyone she loves don't die. Everyone on this show, even Shane, because Shane lost Lori, has lost somebody, except from her. Herschel's daughter tried to kill herself. I ain't really give a fuck about that. Since I've been watching the show, I haven't watched a bad episode, and it's just, oh man, it's great. We got to finally see Rick and Shane. By the way, Rick and Shane, the problem is not resolved yet. Rick came back and saved Shane's life. Saved Shane's life. That just shows you how strong. Now everybody keeps saying, "Oh, Rick is delusional." Well, and Shane isn't. Well, according to the rules that Shane governed his life by, Rick should have left him. Shane said, "Make the decision that keeps us alive." Rick should have left him. I'm just saying, man. But I like Shane. You know, I think that him and Andrea are gonna try to plot to take over the group. It's coming because they think alike, and you know, it's coming. So oh yeah, big shout out to everybody who clicked onto my Blog TV thing and watched the episode with me. Big shout out to all you guys, and thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all here back next Sunday, man. So this has been your boy Jay, aka the man by many names. I'm signing out. Konnichiwa, bitches.